8888.
We're back on the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. You're listening to Get Down to Business, and we're joined by Dale Turken of ScrapGo, a Chicago-based startup. Dale, welcome to the program.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
You bet. Fantastic to have you. You've been featured in Forbes, and you've got a great story to tell. So tell us a little bit about ScrapGo and what you do.
Well, in a nutshell, we help scrap dealers and industrial accounts, which would be manufacturers, find new homes for their scrap. We help them earn more money. We help them with freight and logistics. And at the same time, we help them kind of level the playing field with the big boys so they can compete.
So you've got a website that people can go on, and if you don't mind, describe for our listeners what you can do on the website, when you go on, what people will see.
So the vision for our company is to be an online exchange where we match up the right buyer with the right seller at the right time. And so by doing that, what we've done is we've created a website where suppliers can go on there and list their materials, whatever they have in their yard, what they produce. And so when people go on there, they're going to see that we have, whether it's a truckload quantity, whether it's less than truckload, whether it's a mixed load. But basically, we like to call ourselves the largest scrapyard in the world because anybody can go on and list their site. Now, we do verify that they're legitimate, that it's real material, but we are the largest scrapyard in the world because we're not constrained by real estate. We don't own any equipment or anything, but the website really gives us infinite yard space. And so when you go on there, you're going to see all the scrap that our suppliers have to offer. And at the same time, you can make a bid on there. If you're interested in buying scrap, most of the people that do go on there are steel mills and foundries and companies like that that'll take the scrap and melt it down into usable form and make some other product.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Dale, there must be a story here. I imagine that this wasn't an idea that started just out of the blue. Tell us how you started ScrapGo.
Well, it's an interesting story. One of my longtime business partners and I were in India. We had opened up a call center, and we were talking and, just made a list of different businesses. When you're out in India and you work at night and try and sleep during the day, it makes for some very long days. And so we just made a list of stuff that we wanted to do, and scrap was on it. We tried doing what I like to call manual brokerage and found that, it was hard to really help the clients that we were going after, help the market that we wanted to reach. And so
you started this dynamic site, ScrapGo, that's really helping connect the dots over here. So, Dale, is this basically classified ads online, or are you more than that?
No, it's more than that. I mean, once you go and you we list the product on the site, one of our customer service reps, our salespeople, if you will, we go out and handle the marketing of the material for you. It's hard to really just automate this entire process, but what the website does is it acts as a vehicle to be able to market it more effectively and efficiently.
Very, very cool. So how many times do most people come back to list on your site?
We have a lot of very regular listers. Now, some of them do it on their own, but a lot of them just kind of send the stuff to us, and then we make it, we put together a description, we organize the photos, and then we list it. But there are probably 35 to 40, and remember, we only started doing this about 8 months ago, but we've got about 35 to 40 regular listers. We also have people that we kind of keep in our pocket, if you will, where we're contacted by a steel mill or a foundry, and they say, hey, we're looking for this type of scrap. We don't necessarily post everything that comes into our website just because we don't have to.
What a great story. So we've got about a minute remaining. Dale, you're a successful entrepreneur. It's been only a few months, and it sounds like you're already making waves, getting a lot of attention. What advice do you have for fellow young entrepreneurs that have an idea that want to turn it into a reality?
I would say the main thing that they have to do is they have to stay passionate, stay focused, and have a plan. If you can do those three things, I think you're going to be okay.
Great advice. That's something we mention on the show all the time. Be passionate, express that passion as often as possible, and stick to your plan and make things happen. That's the true recipe for a successful entrepreneur. So Dale Turken, how can people get a hold of you and find out more about ScrapGo?
Well, they can go to us online. It's www.scrapgo.com. If you want to email me directly, it's real easy. It's Dale, D-A-L-E, at ScrapGo.com. That's SCRAPGO.com.
Great story and great advice for entrepreneurs. Dale, we'll be following your story, and we'll be sure to have you back on. Thanks, Dale of ScrapGo, for joining us and Get Down to Business. After the break, we are going to be talking with the folks that are doing some pretty cool stuff in the flooring business. And chances are you've seen some of their products at the United Center, but I won't share any more than that. We're going to be talking with some great entrepreneurs and some great people after the break. And at the end of the program, I'm going to be sharing the tips that you need to know on how to build a great website. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business. Don't touch that dial.